50 episodes. When I really think about how much that means to me, it's just crazy that 5 years ago I graduated from high school and, I didn't really know what was next other than I was going to Gateway to try to pursue a computer information tech degree. And that just really wasn't what I wanted to do with my life. So I came to a crossroads after I finished that degree and just decided, you know what, I'm going to go to college, or I'm going to take a year off from college, and maybe if I want to go back to college, I'll go back to college. And I decided that I wanted to be a writer. And through that love of writing, I found my love of podcasting. And I found each and every one of you, and that's just really crazy to me, that from where I started out to where I am now, I've recorded 50 episodes of What's the Tea, and for 50 episodes we've talked about what's going on in pro wrestling, sports, and entertainment. Honestly, I never really thought that this would happen, that it would last this long, because I thought at some point I'd get burned out, or my fears would actually overtake me to the point where I just didn't want to do it anymore. But you guys, you kept me going. All the love, all the support, and everything. I just am so grateful for each and every one of you. And I couldn't imagine where this program would be without you guys. Or the support of my family, or the support of the people I've met along the way, So I just wanted to take this time to just say thank you to each and every one of you, because What's the Tea wouldn't be What's the Tea without you guys. Without me, it'd probably be someone else trying to do it, but, it's just one of those things I think that sometimes you just have to do, is just realize how far you've really gone with this, and to see that I've actually reached 50 episodes, it's just amazing. And that there are people out there that love the program and just love what I'm doing, And it's just amazing to really think about that and just think, wow, man, I've really done something here with this. And one of my goals with this was also to kind of seek out those others who are doing this like I am, and put them over, tell you why their shows are great, and why you should check them out, because the love of creating and the love of pro wrestling content creating shouldn't be gatekept. I think anyone that wants to do it should do it, because, that just shows how much you love that and how much it really means to you. The fact that you're willing to put on a headset, set up a microphone, and do this or whatever you do to introduce your show. I just think anyone should do it, because it's a lot of fun, it's a lot of work, but you'll wind up having a lot more fun than you think, And yeah, I just wanted to take this time to say thank you to each and every one of you that have supported the program and have just loved what we're doing here. Because, I'm not in this for the fame, I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it to talk pro wrestling, sports, and entertainment. Because that's just who I am. And that's who I try to kind of bring out sometimes on the program, because I want you guys to know the real me. I don't want it to just be that I'm creating this character, no. I want it to be authentic, and I want it to really mean something to people. So that's why I just love being able to do this. Because it's fun. And, whether it's creating YouTube shorts, creating podcast episodes, doing the Owenverse, doing my college football gaming projects, I just love to create because it's fun, and sometimes it's kind of just therapeutic to talk to you guys, because I could be having one of the worst weeks of my life, but I could also just have the fact that I look forward to recording a new episode and talking to you guys about what's going on this crazy TV channel we call the planet Earth. So, I couldn't do this without each and every one of you. And I just want you guys to know how much it means to me that we made it to 50 episodes. Thank you so much. And here's to 50 more, or even more than 50. Let's just see how long we can go with this. Anyways, without further ado, welcome to What's the Tea? I'm your host, always at Owen the Man 316. So the big surprise, WrestleMania 36. It's crazy, because this was the first WrestleMania that I ever watched from start to finish. I kept track of WrestleMania 35, but, this was the first one that I actually sat down and watched, because, for one thing, we were living in one of the craziest times in the history of history. The pandemic and everything getting shut down. That was just crazy, because, like I said, I graduated high school 5 years ago, and I never would imagine that it was all going to go like that. That I was going to have that kind of graduation ceremony, that I was going to have to finish high school online. And it's just crazy to look back on that and think, wow, here we are. That I'm in college and I'm working towards my journalism degree and being a writer and continuing this great program because of all of you. But yeah, man, it's just wild to look back on that. The pandemic was a completely different time. And the fact that we still had wrestling to look forward to was great in a lot of ways. Because, me, I love my sports, and there was no March Madness that year. The Stanley Cup and the NBA Finals were both in a bubble. There were no fans at any NFL games. I couldn't go to a Colts game if I wanted to, and it was some crazy times, man. Crazy, crazy times. But we got through it, and we lived to see great things and get to do great things. But anyways, like I said, welcome to What's the Tea's 50th episode, teatacular, where I will go back and look at the events of WrestleMania 36. Because truly, I think it was one of the most unique WrestleManias. Because, for one thing, there were no fans in attendance. And for the other thing, it's just, you look back on it and it's, wow, we had these cinematic matches, like AJ Styles and The Undertaker in a Boneyard match. The late great Bray Wyatt against John Cena in a Firefly Funhouse match. And it's just crazy to look back on that and see what they were doing with the fact that there were no fans in attendance. So it's just something that I always look at and go, wow, this was really interesting. And I've actually got a poster of the WrestleMania 36 poster that hangs in my room, and I take a look at it, and I always just like looking back and thinking, wow, what a crazy time that was. And some people kind of have mixed feelings about it for the fact that it didn't have fans, which I get it. But I can really appreciate the fact that everybody that was there was willing to try and put on a good show and give people a distraction of what was going on in the world. That's what I can truly appreciate about that WrestleMania, is that everyone who was on the card went out there and showed up and showed out, because that's what we needed during a time like that, And that's just what I'll always remember about WrestleMania 36. So let's talk about it.